As snow begins to blanket the landscape, wild boars emerge from the forest in search of food, driven by the urgency to survive the unforgiving winter. During this season, their behavior grows increasingly aggressive. In their quest to feed, they often destroy farmlands, tear up soil, and ravage valuable crops. In response, hunting teams are deployed to manage their impact and protect local agriculture. What follows are intense moments of pursuit and ambush, scenes of strategic wildlife management set against a wintry backdrop. Early in the morning, one hunting team made its way into the rugged hills of a Central Asian region. Once on site, they split up to track the wild boars. Within minutes, one of the marksmen spotted a herd moving through dense underbrush. Targeting the largest member of the group, the hunter took aim. A single shot brought the animal down as it tumbled down the slope, marking the beginning of a carefully planned operation. The same marksman continued scanning the hills for signs of movement. Soon after, a lone boar appeared across the ridge. Before it could vanish into the terrain, another shot was fired. The animal dropped instantly into the dry grass, another potential risk swiftly neutralized. In a separate position, another marksman observed the terrain through binoculars. Among the leafless branches, the outline of another boar came into view. From a well-chosen vantage point, a shot was taken. The animal, unaware of the danger, fell where it stood. Each successful shot restored a small measure of balance to the surrounding farmland. Meanwhile, in the snow-covered mountain areas, another group had surrounded a high-traffic boar corridor. Tracks in the snow indicated recent movement. As a group of wild boars began making their way back to their shelter, two marksmen took position. Moments later, the leading boar entered view, and a coordinated volley was fired. The lead animal collapsed, triggering panic in the remaining herd. Quick action followed. Pursuit continued, with several more animals brought down before the rest disappeared into the forest. At another location, an ambush was carefully unfolding. A wild boar suddenly dashed across the clearing. The marksman reacted instantly, landing two quick shots, the second disabling the animal's hind leg. Despite a brief attempt to flee, the boar was quickly subdued by follow-up shots. Further away, yet another animal was spotted hiding in the thick underbrush. A clean shot put an end to its final effort to remain hidden. Each success further reduced the immediate threat to nearby fields. This coordinated effort resembles a tactical operation, where every movement matters. With bold ambushes and calculated decisions, each team works to preserve the fragile balance between wildlife and agriculture. In another phase of the mission, a team had already reached their designated position by 6 a.m. As tension filled the air, the sound of movement emerged from a nearby bush. A wild boar stepped into view. Within seconds, it was down, caught by a calm and precise ambush. Not far away, another team executed a similar maneuver. They arrived at a pre-selected ridge by off-road vehicle and took cover behind rocky terrain. Soon after, a wild boar emerged on a distant slope. The designated marksman locked in. A single, calculated shot brought the animal down instantly, neutralizing the threat before it could reach cultivated land. On sparsely wooded hillsides, the challenge increases. The cleared terrain offers visibility, but also demands absolute precision. A seasoned hunter navigated such a slope with binoculars, moving silently toward a chosen lookout point. In these regions, wild boars are known for their heightened awareness and elusive behavior. Without warning, one suddenly appeared. The marksman responded with discipline. Each shot followed the animal's rapid movements with precision, culminating in a controlled takedown executed in rhythm with steady breath control. This kind of restraint and timing reflects the level of skill required in such conditions. In yet another location, near the edge of a grassy field bordering a protected forest area, a quiet operation was underway. From the early morning, the team had already established a perimeter. Tracking dogs picked up faint signs of recent activity, marking the beginning of another calculated pursuit. Soon, a sharp bark signaled the location of the wild boar. A member of the hunting team immediately assumed position, focusing intently on the target. Suddenly, a wild boar emerged from the underbrush. A shot was fired swift, controlled, and precise. As the last light of day faded and the specially trained dogs moved into formation, the ambush in the rice field reached its most critical phase. The entire field had been surrounded, ensuring there were no routes of escape. Barking intensified near one of the checkpoints. A nearby hunter quickly turned toward the sound, scanning the movement among the cornstalks. At that moment, a large wild boar charged through a narrow gap, attempting to flee into a neighboring field. However, it was quickly intercepted. A burst of controlled gunfire cut off its escape route. In regions such as the southern United States, wild boars have become increasingly disruptive. These animals have caused significant agricultural damage, destroyed enclosures, and posed risks to local communities. As a result, coordinated efforts have emerged to manage their population and reduce the damage they cause. This particular hunt took place in Arkansas, a state where wild boar activity has become more severe. Early in the morning, around 5 a.m., a local team gathered to begin the day's operation. They drove to a forested area marked for tracking, accompanied by trained dogs specialized in scent tracking and pursuit. Upon arrival, team members quickly dispersed to their designated positions. Vigilance was high as they monitored the surroundings. One hunter spotted movement in the undergrowth and remained focused on the animal's path. A carefully aimed shot brought the boar down instantly, marking a successful start to the operation. Elsewhere in the same forest, another member located a group of boars feeding openly. Selecting the largest one, the hunter waited for a clear angle before firing. The targeted boar was brought down with a single shot, though the others scattered quickly before further action could be taken. Tracking dogs were then deployed to follow the fleeing animals. Their barking soon indicated the presence of another boar. Acting promptly, the team leader advanced toward the sound. A boar was observed attempting to escape but was intercepted by both the dogs and a timely, well-placed shot. The brief chase came to a decisive end. Meanwhile, in South Carolina, another team was carrying out a similar ambush in a dense forest. The strategy was meticulous, and positions had been carefully established in advance. One of the hunters spotted a wild boar moving among the bushes and took action immediately, ending the encounter with a single, accurate shot. At the forest's edge, another hunter successfully intercepted a target. As they continued to track movement in the area, another boar suddenly emerged. With practiced precision, the hunter neutralized the threat before it could retreat into cover, helping to restore balance in the area. In nearby mountain regions, residents began reporting increased wild boar activity, especially along slopes near their villages. In response, a group of hunters decided to reach these elevated paths early, aiming to intercept the animals before they moved downhill. The steep terrain made progress difficult. However, based on known patterns of wild boar movement, the team believed this route offered a strong chance of success. After parking near a narrow trail, the group began ascending. One member approached a small rise along the path, when a boar suddenly emerged from cover. A quick and well-placed shot brought the animal down almost instantly. Though the main operation had not officially begun, the team had already encountered its first target. About 30 minutes later, the group reached their planned ambush location. From this elevated vantage point, dense brush concealed most of the lower slope. One boar narrowly avoided a shot and retreated into the brush, but soon reappeared at a predictable location. The hunter remained steady, took aim, and fired. The boar collapsed with no opportunity to escape. Nearby, a group of wild boars began climbing the slope. As one moved into a clearing, another hunter seized the opportunity. The shot struck accurately, and the animal rolled down the hill, while the others scattered in panic. Nevertheless, the team had achieved their objective. At a higher point along the mountain, another boar was spotted emerging from dense vegetation. A direct and accurate shot brought it down, its body disappearing into the nearby undergrowth. In mountainous environments like this, wild boars tend to use paths covered by thick brush, making wind direction and positioning critical for effective ambushes. In one instance, a boar was spotted by both upper and lower positioned hunters. A scout team reported that the animal had been injured and was attempting to hide. The closest hunter advanced without delay. The boar, already weakened, was quickly subdued with a single, carefully aimed shot. Later, as the team repositioned to a more strategic point between the valley and slope, One member was stationed along a narrow trail known for frequent wildlife crossings. Not long after, movement was detected in the surrounding brush. A dark silhouette emerged. Reacting swiftly, the hunter adjusted aim and fired. The boar collapsed beside the trail, struggled briefly, then remained motionless. Another successful moment in a highly coordinated effort to manage the growing population of wild boars across rural landscapes.